Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a full face of natural clean beauty makeup products. This was requested and you know what, I'm happy to comply because I do have quite a good amount of good recommendations in the clean beauty department. So let's get started. Since I have oily acne prone skin, I will be using this primer by BAREMINERALS. During my time at BAREMINERALS, I really appreciated how much they talked about being a clean beauty brand, and they were one of the first clean beauty brands. When you think about mineral makeup, I mean, it's very basic makeup. There's really not much to it. So I'm gonna be using the Blemish Rescue Primer, which is great. I haven't used it in a while, but maybe it's time for me to fall in love with this primer once again. So this primer does have a little bit of a green tint, which helps with redness, but it's also infused with chamomile. So chamomile is very soothing, very calming, and it's not sticky. It's not a heavy primer, so very nice. Maybe it's time for me to fall in love with this once again because I haven't used it in a little bit. After applying primer, you could very well apply a foundation. I don't wear foundation a lot of the times nowadays. I just like the finish of a concealer a lot better. But if you are looking for a good natural clean foundation, BAREMINERALS has a great lineup of foundations. They have the original, they have the matte, they have the Blemish Rescue. All of those are powder foundations and they're fantastic. I also do love their Complexion Rescue, which is a tinted moisturizer, and they have the Complexion Rescue Stick, which I also own. Fantastic stuff. The only two foundations that I'm not a huge fan of are the Bare Pro Powder Foundation. That I found a little bit dry for me. So I don't know, I just never really got along with that formula. And I also am not a fan of the Bare Skin Foundation, but that's because it's not suited for my skin type. That's for a much drier skin, mature skin. So those are the reasons why I don't like those two. But everything else is really good and I give it my stamp of approval. I have a few videos using BAREMINERALS foundations in this channel. So today for concealer slash foundation, I'm going to be using one that you've seen a lot in my channel. This is by the Organic Skin Co. This is their Hide and Seek concealer. The formula is so nice. It reminds me a lot of the NARS Soft Matte Creamy Concealer, which I also do own. It's not clean, it is not cruelty free, but it is a beautiful, more natural looking matte. So super similar. There are more shades in the NARS, but I feel like they just don't do a lot of yellow undertones very well, which the Organic Skin Co does. This is a beautiful golden undertone concealer. The pot is huge, so it's gonna last me a really long time despite how much I've used it. And I do like the option that they give you. This, when the packaging, it is much more expensive, but if you just get the pot itself and you can just put it in whatever palette that you want or build yourself a customizable palette, it is much cheaper. So you can get the concealer for 21 bucks instead of 50 something with the packaging, or just, you know, get the pot. So the way that I like to apply this concealer, especially in its full packaging, which is quite a big concealer pot, is I like grabbing this brush, which is from Eco Tools. It's one of their foundation brushes, the base buffer. There we go, the base buffer. And I like to just work the brush inside of the pod, and then I just stamp the concealer into my face. I mean, you can already tell it just evens out so nicely. And then, I mean, I could do a little bit of buffing with it, but I do like using this brush more like a sponge. And the concealer itself blends out so nicely. I don't apply concealer everywhere. It's okay because it really does look like my skin tone, which is really great. And it covers really nicely. Now, if I have a blemish or something that I really want to cover, then I just take a little bit on my finger and I'll tap it. And I just apply it directly on that spot. So now let's move on to blush, and there's so many clean natural blushes that I absolutely love. I could obviously talk about the Organic Skin Co so much in this video, and I probably will because I really do enjoy their products. So these are some of their cheeky lips, which I have 2 in this palette that I built. And then I also do have Desert Storm, which is this beautiful orange that you don't see very often, but their formula is really, really great. I love it. I vouch for it 100%. So that's one of my recommendations I could give you. I also recently tried out the Hydra Tints by Clove and Hollow. This one is in Georgia. It is beautiful, blends out so nicely and very easily. It really takes no effort to blend them out. And I do have a more recent edition, which is more affordable. This is from BURT'S, and it's their All Aglow. They're All Aglow cheek and lipsticks. And this one is in Dahlia Glow, which is a beautiful reddish color. All of them are really, really nice. I think today I'm going to be using, oh, I got this one too. This one I got in my Allure beauty box. This is from the brand Au Naturel, and it's the Creme Multistick in grapefruit. So all of them are clean. All of them are very, very nice. This does have a little bit of a sheen to it. But today, I think, just to shake things up and not use everything from the Organic Skin Co., I'm going to be using the BURT'S. So this, I'm just going to begin by swiping. You can do a little heart if you want to. My favorite brush to apply any cream blush product is this guy from e.l.f. I also do love their small stipple brush, but at the moment I've been using just the regular, like, travel size stipple brush. It's incredible. So I'm just going to stipple this on my cheek. At the moment I do like the blush on the apples of the cheek, but you can apply whichever way that you want. This blush is very sheer, but in a good way. It just looks like you naturally blushed, which is what I look for in a blush nowadays. For powder, I'm going to be using a little bit of the Bare Minerals Mineral Veil, the original one. There's really not much to this powder, but a little goes a really long way with this. So the key with this is less is more. If you apply too much of the Mineral Veil, it can make your makeup look dry because it is a cornstarch based powder. So I just apply very, very little. I do concentrate it on the T-zone because since I do have oily skin, that's where I would get very oily. So now it's time for one of my favorite things, because this is one of my favorite products and you're gonna see how beat up it is. This is my bronzer by Bare Minerals. This is the Invisible Bronze, which I've showed many times in this channel, and I use the shade Fair to Light. So if you have a fair to light skin tone, it's very self-explanatory, but if you do happen to have a very light skin tone and a lot of bronzers pull orange on you, this one won't. It is very well loved. It is my favorite bronzer, and I'm going to cry when Bare Minerals eventually discontinues it, because they discontinue and replace stuff so often. So there you go. Look at this bronzer. It's just, it's so nice. And this brush is one of the softest synthetic brushes ever. Lily Lolo is another great natural makeup line. Everything is really nice that I've tried so far, but their brushes are some of my favorites. They're just super soft. Cannot emphasize it. And they're not super expensive, which is good. For highlighter, I'm going to be using this guy from RMS. This is the RMS Luminizer Quad. You can just buy an individual one if you want, but I do love the way the Living Luminizers look like. They're very similar to the Glossier Halo Scope, but if you want a more clean alternative, then this one is a very close dupe. So I'm gonna take just the Luminizer shade, and I'm just going to apply this on top of my cheekbones. I know most times you're supposed to apply cream products on top of cream products, but since the Mineral Veil is so fine, it really doesn't affect the powder too much. If you're looking for another natural highlighter option that's really good, this one is the Organic Skin Co highlight in the shade Lunar. I used it in my vacation face makeup video. In case you want to see that, I'll link it down below and in the cards. But this one's also very, very nice. I do find it a little bit more dramatic on the skin. This one's more natural looking, more dewy, but it is another good option if you're looking for a natural highlighter. See, I have more brushes from Lily Lolo. I just adore these. They're so damn good. For the eyes, I do want to use these cream eyeshadows by the Organic Skin Co, but there's a lot of options in the clean beauty world, in the natural beauty world. If you want something more convenient, there's eyeshadow palettes, there's individual eyeshadows like the ones from BAREMINERALS. So you have a ton of options, but I do want to use these guys today. These are the Organic Skin Co, the Ice Habit eyeshadows. I have 4. I did this really beautiful smoky eye a few months ago on my Instagram, which kind of looked like the eyeshadows were a little bit wet, a little bit glossy, but they weren't. They were just these guys. So I do want to recreate that look today. I'm going to begin with this chocolatey brown shade. There's no shimmer to it. Feel free to adjust it with any other products that you have that are similar to this shade. And I'm going to begin just applying it with my finger. So using very, very little pressure. I'm just stamping it. And to blend things out a little bit more, I'm just gonna grab a blending brush. This one's from Lily Lolo. And I'm just gonna blend the edges. Then using a bigger crease brush, I'm going to apply a little bit more of this product and just work on blending it out. Now I'm going to be applying this shimmery gold eyeshadow on the center of my eyelid. So I'm just gonna stamp it once again. Little to no pressure at all. To darken up the outer corners, I'm going to be using a little bit of this smoky gray. I'm going to take a little bit of this product onto the brush. And then I'm just going to lightly stamp it. And the last eyeshadow that I'm going to be applying is this rich cranberry shade, which is so beautiful. It's such a nice color. This is in the shade Silk Purse. I'm going to be applying it all along the lower lash line. Since these are cream products, they just apply so easily. I can just drag it very lightly on the lower lash line and it just kind of blends itself out. You really don't struggle too much with these. Now, if you do want to make it just a tiny bit smokier, you can grab a little bit of that darker shade that we applied in the outer corner and just place that ever so slightly on the outer edge of the eye. I'm going to go back into the Living Luminizer quad and I'm going to pick out, I think this one's Champagne Frizz, and I'm going to apply just in the inner corner. For eyeliner, I will be using the one that I used in the original photo. This is also by the Organic Skin Co. This is the Dry the Line eyeliner, which is in the shade Brown. This, I was actually genuinely very, very surprised by this because it held up on my eyelid so well, and I have super oily lids, so the fact that I didn't see the eyeliner transfer was incredible. And I would wear these for an 8-9 hour work day, so it holds on really well. And you can also use it very, very carefully on the waterline and it holds on really well as well. Okay, I need to be quiet for this. Eyelining is a serious job. All right, I'm gonna start talking now. So I'm just lining the eye. This is more of a chocolatey brown, which I didn't think I was gonna like, but I actually do. And it's actually quite easy to get a nice wing out of it. Brows are the only area where I don't have any recommendations. So I will be using the Glossier Brow Flick. For mascaras, I would recommend the Bare Minerals mascaras, especially the Love Every Lash, which has a tiny micro brush. That one is so beautiful. I do like the Lashtopia as well. That one I would also recommend. This isn't clean, like super clean. Well, it's more vegan, but the Milk Makeup Kush Mascara is another great one. But today I'm going to be using one by a Mexican brand. This is by Apple. They infuse their mascaras with different oils and different essences. So there's an avocado oil mascara, there is a jojoba oil. There's just a lot of different versions, and there's a lot of different brands in the Mexican market that cater to more natural formulations. So I'm going to be using this guy, which has jojoba oil in it. For lip products, the world is your oyster. There's so many clean and natural lip products in the market that I love. We have the Organic Skin Co. Their lip service lipsticks are really great. Obviously, you can also use their cheeky lips on your cheeks and on your lips. And I feel like a lot of cream blushes, you can use them on your lips as well. But today I'm going to be using one that I really love, which is Bite Beauty. Bite Beauty, I feel like they do clean lip products so well. So today I'm going to be using one of their multi-sticks in the shade Almond, which is this beautiful color. But I'm just going to blot it on my lips. Bite Beauty also has some of my favorite lip pencils. This one's in the shade number 36, which is clearly well loved. You could leave it matte, but today I'm going to add just a little bit of gloss, and this one's by the Organic Skin Co. This is the All About the Gloss in the shade Barefoot. So that's it for my full face of natural and clean makeup products. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. I will be linking all the products that I used and mentioned down in the information bar below. Please let me know if you have any questions or any suggestions on especially brow products that are a little bit more clean. I would love to know what you guys have tried and what you guys love. And if you have any other full face of suggestions, let me know in the comments below as well. Make sure to subscribe to see brand new videos from me, and I'll see you guys very soon in my next video. Bye!